Hello, beautiful people. Today's video was on my heart from a very long time, and mm, my 15-year-old self would be so, you know, this video would be so helpful for her because I was constantly searching for this particular guidance that what to do when you are so stuck in this kind of environment. And you know as per our culture, sometimes in Islam there is a lot of value for parents, and they have so many rights over us and all this stuff, and no one really guides us what to do. Okay, as someone who had been with abusing parents, you can say abusing father and emotionally unavailable mother, I can really understand how it feels to be in the toxic environment, how it feels to have all those expectations of culture that you shouldn't do such and such thing, or sometimes they are relatives, sometimes they made you feel so uh, guilty with the concept of religion that this is not you should be doing. And I have never seen any of the scholar to really discuss it. I mean, there is a video of Dr. Umar Suleiman, but there is no as such guidance that what one should be doing, especially if you are a girl, a woman. There is nothing like that. I mean, if you know that men have a easy way out when they have toxic parents, and um, most of the toxicity doesn't even influence their lives because our culture is not designed in such a way that it can affect them. Even if there are some of the toxic things there in society or in culture, most of the time men get the benefits of them. Okay, and this is really true. Even if they think that this is bad, they still don't say anything because obviously it's benefiting them. So I have never seen any scholar to touch this topic before, and any, as per the YouTube, there are a lot of videos related to that stuff, I can say, but there is none of them are in a way where we can balance our deen and our dunya both. Okay, so I can say that I have done a great job in managing both of them. Okay, Alhamdulillah, I am just a practicing Muslim, and anything that I'm going to say in this video is going to be by experience. Okay, and if you think that anything that I'm saying here is wrong, then obviously comment section are there. Okay, it is there. You can just drop your advice or anything that is related to that stuff. But yeah, I really wanted to make a video related to this, and it was kind of vulnerable while making this because um it's very personal kind of thing when you talk about your family, when you talk about the things that happen to you in on public. But uh, then I thought that it would be so helpful if anyone would see this video and they can just implement that in their life. It would be so helpful because there was no one to guide me, and um, so I thought that I should be sharing this. So yeah, let's just start this. First of all, I want you to really, if you are here, even if you are Muslim, you are non-Muslim, you know the story of Ibrahim or Abraham. Okay, so you know his story. He was a prophet. Okay, so his father threw him in the fire. Okay, literally threw him in the fire. And in the Quran, it is mentioned that when Allah told him to move away from the tribe of his father, what he did was move away from there, but he still prayed for his father that may Allah guide him and may Allah forgive him. But then Allah made it haram for him to pray for his father, okay, later. So, and also, you know that most of the religions, Christian, Jews, and Muslims, are Abrahamic religions, okay. His father and his tribe forced him to move away by doing such and such actions, but Allah blessed him with such glory that most of the people in this world are still can say that they are the followers of Abraham. Okay, so this is the thing. Like, I want you to realize this fact that prophets had the ego that they never really made it about themselves. Okay, they clearly saw the perception of the people who behaved in such a way, and then they moved away from them and did their own work. Okay, I want you to see this pattern. It is almost everywhere. Like in the story of Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, in the story of Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam, and our own prophet. Okay, so the thing is this, that there are going to be people. There are going to be people. Sometimes they are going to be very close to you. Sometimes they are going to be, the ones that you have loved the most. Obviously, um, as a daughter, and I can say it on the behalf of every daughter, their first love is their father. Okay, and it is they are the first man that they see. They are the first man that they get in contact with, and their perception about man became the way their father is. Okay, and there is definitely nothing wrong with it. It's natural. Okay, so when you see that your father is a bad person, or he's not the way you expected him to be, because what I really have seen in our culture, in most of the culture, in Muslims, in our community, what I have seen is that fathers know how to raise their daughters when they are babies. Okay, but when they hit puberty, or when they are in their adolescence phase, they completely get clueless about, you know it's like kind of thing that they completely don't know who we are, and we feel that sudden neglect, that we saw that our father is changed or something have happened. And in my case, you can say something like that happened, but it turned out to be, you know little by little it changes into abuse. Okay, but if we just saw it on a common ground, most of the men don't know how to treat their daughters when they hit puberty. And I am not blaming it on men. It is women, okay, who it is their mothers who have never taught them, who have never made it common to discuss the basic things that are so universal in this world. For example, menstruation, and that their daughter is one day going to be a woman, and still, even if their daughter is a woman, she is still their daughter. They don't know how to deal with them, okay? And so, as much as I'm disappointed in men, I'm also disappointed in women too, because, like, it was their mother's duty to teach them the basic stuff, to make it common. And there is no, in our culture, there is a unnecessary shame about talking about menstruation, about pregnancy, about even the, you know, the intimate scenarios. There is so much shame regarding those stuff, but those stuff are universal and they don't teach this stuff. And then, family system became very weird, very very weird. So what I was talking about this is, it is so prominent in our culture. Okay, and um I was talking about a common ground, but when your parents are really abusive, your parents are really toxic, okay, there can be abuse. Okay, there, and it's, maybe it's not very common, maybe it's common, but society have made it really really common. Okay, that he's a man, he can do certain things, he's a father, he's still providing for you even if he is abusive. And that became a really, you know a thing where we feel like, is it the only duty of a man to provide? Like, where is emotional intelligence? Where is safe surrounding, where is, a kind of calm and composed environment, or a security that a man should be providing, because that's what women want. If she is your sister, if she is your daughter, if she is your wife, that's what we want. Okay, as per the men, I think, as much as I know them, because I have never seen a man that close than my father. Okay, so I think they really need support. Okay, that's it. So, but for us to give them support, we need safety first. We need safety first, and that is the thing that they don't understand. They understand that providing for the basic necessities is something that is enough. Okay, there should be emotions. And so in my case, it used to be something like that, that my father used to create drama and create dramas, and to show his control, to show his authority, to sometimes, he's someone like that, that if you talk to him, and find it if he find a sentence like this, that someone is telling him something and he feels like he is the wrong one here, he suddenly turned into abusive. Okay, and as per, the toxic cycle was there, because his father and his mother were not very present. So, because his father was not present and his mother was constantly working, he gave that role to my mother. And my mother was, since she was a woman who is, influenced by culture. Okay, so she made that it is her duty to make him, feel satisfied and everything, like his mother should be. Okay, you know to fill that void that his mother left in him, and that void should be filled by him himself. And that is the thing that my mother can't understand, that you can't fill someone's void. If your parents are toxic, and if you think like that, that if you are going to be married, or if you are going to have a partner, your that void is going to be filled, you will be happy and all those things, this is not going to happen. Your partner is going to have their own needs, and both of you can fulfill each other emotional needs as per husband and wife, not as per mother or father. Okay, it's the inner work that you have to do, it's the father and mother wounds that you have to fill. So because my mother had to replace the wound that his mother gave him, it was a kind of, very avoidant relationship with my mother. Okay, me and my mother and my siblings were, kind of in such a relationship. So that is the thing, they are transferring, but they never have healed in themselves. So if you think that you are not going to heal yourself, and you will one day get healed whenever you start your family, this is something that is a biggest misconception. And this is the misconception that our elders used to do, that marriage is going to fix every problem, and as if it's a miracle that can solve every problem, which it is not. Marriage is a work, it is a constant work. Okay, constant work and constant responsibilities. It is not only, you know sunshine and rainbows. It's nothing like that. Okay, and as per someone who has in so many toxic relationships, I know marriage is nothing like that. And the emotional intelligence is something that you should pray for every relationship. Even if you want a friend, you should pray that please grant me someone who have emotional intelligence. Okay, that's so necessary, that's really so necessary. And you know that's why I believe that we should really, really do inner work. Inner work is so important, and you can find it on Pinterest. You can search prompts related to father wounds and mother wounds, whoever it is in your life that is abusive or toxic. You can search for it and you should write it in your journals. But it is going to give you is that how your life is going to is affecting right now, that are related to your father wounds or related to your mother wounds. How sometimes, sometimes I can definitely say that I am the duplicate of my father. Right now, not in a bad way, but yeah, I used to be in a bad way when he was a good father. Okay, so I used to be so much in his influence before my teenage years, and as I have said, fathers can't fathom the fact that their daughters are like them. Okay, whenever when we start behaving like them. Okay, so I have done so much inner work to never be like him. Okay, I know I have so many traits that are good, that are from him, and I am brave enough that I can say that I loved him, because every daughter loved their father, and this is a universal fact. So, but I am still brave enough to acknowledge the fact that he is not a nice person. That's it. Even if I love him, I don't think so he deserved that. Okay, so as I was saying about prophets, okay, what they did was they let those people in their own misery, okay, and they focused on their work. And when Allah told them to move away, they moved. Our prophet did hijrah, okay. So that's the thing that you should be doing, okay. You know, first of all, you there was a influencer who said this thing, and I don't know her ID because my Instagram apparently gets suspended. Okay, I don't know what's happening in it, but yeah, she told that never argue, never defend, and never try to make your point in front of your parents. And that's exactly Quran told us, that we should not even try to be, try to do oof in front of our parents. Okay, it means that we should never talk back in front of our parents. And for a very long time I used to think like, why shouldn't I do this? Like, they are doing wrong and I should be telling them that they are doing wrong, and this is not nice, this is not how they should be treating me, and how they should be treating their other children, my siblings. And but I you know what happened, that because I told them that this is not right, they started doing that again and again and again, because they now know that this is something that I don't like, this is something that my siblings don't like. And even if they can do something to me, they do it to my siblings. Okay, so because they know I love them too. That's the, you can say, the curse of a kind heart, because then they know what they can hurt. Okay, like, you shouldn't be giving them the things that they shouldn't even know what is hurting you. Okay, and again I say that for a longer period of time I never realized the wisdom behind this Quranic ayah, but now I really know what your parents feel when you say something to them, is that this is the child that we have grown and now they are lecturing us about something, especially when you are not successful, especially when you haven't done anything or you live with them. Okay, they saw it in such a light and it triggers their ego, because obviously when your parents are toxic, they are running on their ego, they are running on the things that their elder have done to them. Okay, because whenever Allah says something about disbelievers in the Quran, he says that they are on the footpath of their elders. And that's the thing with our toxic parents, they are on the footpath of their elders because they never have discovered the new path. Okay, so They conceive it on their ego, so never defend, never argue, and never make your point. According to their perspective, they are doing the right thing, okay? Because whenever I encountered my father regarding all those stuff, he used to say this, that my father never even provided, and I'm here providing for you. So the thing is that in their perspective, they are doing more, okay? And whenever you, I'm sure you have seen the explanation that the people of Makkah used to give to our prophet, that they are on the right path, their forefathers were on this path, and so according to them, they are doing the right thing. But you know they are not, because you have seen that there is good things in this world too. There are good fathers too, and as per the good fathers, this is nothing like that, okay? So you know that, and what you can do is just forgive them, okay? I'm not asking you to forget all those stuff and live with them, like it is a happily ever after. Like, this is not possible, definitely not possible when the other person is abusive. Why I'm saying about forgiving, why Allah have said to forgive people so much in Quran, is that as per the neuroscience, when you make bonds with people based on your energy, okay, sometimes your energy is stuck when you have unclear, when you have, you can say, love is a higher frequency, and same goes with hate, it is a lower frequency. So when you are on a frequency with certain people, they are on a lower frequency, now you have bonded with them on that lower frequency, okay? And as much as I have read Quran, it is really really based on neuroscience, human behavior, and so much, okay? I have learned so much regarding that, researched so many years based on my experience, okay? So forgive them so that you can have that peace of mind, you can have that clear energy blocks, that you can attract nice people in your life. You can have, you know sometimes why you see that you are attracting the same people again and again, because there is something in your frequency that you have never cleared. So if you are not going to forgive these people, there are going to be same people again in your life that are going to be like them, okay? Maybe your father is like that, but and you want to pursue a future relationship with any man, he's going to be like that again, because you have never forgiven your father. You are energetically stuck in that lower frequency, and that's why you are again attracting all those people based on lower frequency. So forgive. I'm not asking to forget, again I'm not asking to forget, just forgive and move on. Forgive for your own sake, so that you not become the person that, every time, because when we don't forgive anyone, we have them on our mind 24 into 7. We talk to our friends regarding them, we talk to anyone regarding them, okay? The first thing that I really stopped doing right now is talk about them, okay? Because first of all, there is nothing that is going to happen after this talk. We can change a person when they don't want to even change themselves, we can change them, okay? So I stopped talking about them, because this is going to make me stuck into their world that I really don't want. Okay, I have so many important things that I can really give my energy to rather than them. And when you constantly, um, you know, don't forgive them, constantly think about them, you are not going to give your energy in the things that want your energy. You are never going to pursue your dreams, because again you are going to be in survival mode. And um, if you don't know about survival mode, I have videos on that. on YouTube. Okay, you can see that. So that's why it's so important to forgive. It's is really important to forgive. And if you are living with them, make it your habit to forgive them every night. Okay, every night. That okay, I don't understand why they did the way they did, but I'm going to forgive them. I have many important things to do. I'm not going to change them. It's not my duty, and it's okay. They can go on their path and I'm on my path, and that's it. That's the best that you can do for your own peace of mind, for your own life, for your own sake. Okay, and you know, that's why I talk so much about inner work, and that's why I started doing my inner work, because I was starting to be like them, okay, in very subtle ways. Okay, that's why I am talking about forgiveness, because you know, forgiveness is also inner work. When you don't forgive them, but your father and but your mother and anyone who is toxic are doing that, you must have listened them saying the thing that our elder used to do this, and this is not something new that we are doing to you. It is very common. They think it's common. Okay, and when you are in such environment, it affects you. You also subconsciously tend to believe that it's common. That's why it's so important to analyze yourself, to write down stuff, to journal why you did the thing that you did, and the thing that matches them, that matches their behavior. Okay, when I was a teenager, I really started to behave like him. Okay, so I that's why I go into the inner work, because I never wanted to be like him. He like he's also our eldest son, and I'm eldest daughter. So it's there are so many ways in which I can understand him, but it doesn't mean that I believe that what he did was correct. Okay, and there are so many situations where I was tempted to do exactly like him, because it was the easy way out. Okay, he never acknowledged whatever I had to say. He never listened. He whenever things got out of control, he start abusing. But to make it different, what I had to do is to listen to whoever there is in front of me, even if they are an elder, they are a child. I have to put my ego aside, because following the path of ego is a easy way. Okay, but following the path that is healthy, that Allah have told us, is to put your ego aside, to listen to the other person, to decide how I am toxic in this situation. Because I can be, I am also a human being. There can be mistakes that I am making, and for this, to acknowledge this, you need to do a lot of inner work, especially when you are in the environment, when you have grown up in such an environment. It's really very, very important. Okay, that's why just do inner work. Try to journal. Try to, whenever you feel like you are not behaving the way you are, this is not someone that you are. Try to journal why you did the thing that you did, and I'm sure it is definitely going to be related to your past, because it is related to your past. You are not behaving on your own, you are behaving in the way that you have seen that is normalized around you. Okay, and one more thing that I am going to say is, you know, we are living in a world where making money is not that difficult. Okay, you can make it if you are a creative person, and everyone is creative. You can watch my videos regarding that too. So, what I want you is to start something that your soul wants, that Allah have put any idea in your heart, that you think you are good in something. Start a public account related to that, because there are so many ways people now really acknowledge art and all those stuff. Just start that, and eventually you will start making money. You can start up faceless accounts, and there are so many things that you can do that are related to the internet. And even if you don't know anything now, you can learn. There is nothing that you can't learn, okay? So just learn it and start to do something like that. The thing that I have seen that make so many women stay in toxic scenarios is the lack of money, the lack of knowledge, the lack of independence, or sometimes the lack of courage. Okay, that how I'm going to do such and such stuff. So I want you to start something today. Okay, anything. Even if you are scared to start it, even if you feel like what the people around you will say, if you can start it, you know by showing your identity. If you can't, just hide your identity. It's not that difficult. Okay, learn. There is almost everything on YouTube. If you have enough discipline, you can learn that. Okay, start making money, making your own money. It really provides you with so much freedom. Okay, they can control you when they know that you are not um depend on them financially on for your basic needs. Okay, and learn how banking works, how how world works. Learn all those things, learn the important things. It's so important for a woman to know all of those stuff that y- you can do that alone. Okay, there is no, I mean, there is nothing bad about having a support. If you have, that's a really nice thing. But if you don't, Allah loves intelligent people. Allah loves those people who have courage. Allah loves those women who know. Okay, be like our mother Khadija radiallahu ta'ala anha. Okay, she was incredible woman. Okay, and our mother Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, she was so intelligent. So be like them, make them their role models. Okay, instead of just wasting your time and crying about the things that are not even your control, instead of venting about all those toxic people that are never going to be nice. Okay, be find your outlet, find something that you can do, make money, move out. If you can, please just move out from there. Because environment, when you are in the environment, there will be a constant need for you to just see where to do inner work and to be someone that you don't want to be. Okay, so it's really so nice to move out. Okay, I will definitely suggest you to move out if you can. Okay, and one thing that I really wanted to do related to the thing that if you are attached to people where you are living, and it can happen that our siblings are not toxic, but our parents are toxic, so we feel like we have to save our siblings too. But believe me, when you are going to save yourself, your siblings will eventually save themselves, because they will see a role model that she have done that, I can also do that. It's not that difficult. Just don't be scared and take the first step. Take it. Okay, people can say that you are selfish, you are leaving your siblings, and you are leaving anyone. You can say, for example, if you are leaving your mother in a toxic situation, people can say that. And it's not in our control. You can't save someone unless you save yourself. You are the first key, okay, to for the door. Okay, if it makes sense, you have to save yourself first. Make your life healthy first. Be yourself healthy first, then try to save other people. You can't constantly, you know being in a toxic situation is like being in a well with your family members. You can't pull them up unless you are first up there, up the walls of the well. Okay, so you can pull them once you are out of the well, but till you are not out of the well, don't try to save anyone. You will make it bad for other people, because when the abuser is going to see that they have find the weak spot where you are, where your care lies, they are going to attack it. Okay, they are going to do that. So first of all, climb the well yourself, then save anyone who wanna be saved. Don't save anyone uh, who believes that well is their home and there is no world outside that well. You can save those people. So yeah, that's the all that I can just share, that I have learned. Okay, and anything that you find important, you can say it in the comments. And again, I'm not a scholar, I'm not a very expert in dealing with these things, but anything that I have said here is from my own experience. Okay, you can say my past 9 years of experience. Yeah, so that's it. Bye bye.